From across the globe comes 8 of the wildest fighters the world has ever known. Choose your champion, gather your courage, and prepare to battle your opponents in a bare-knuckle brawl. Face Ken and his devastation, Dragon Punch. Watch the temperature rise as Dalsim incinerates you with his mystical Yoga Flame. Hear your spine crack as Zangief smashes you to the pavement with his spinning Pile Driver. Cover your ears as Guile breaks the sound barrier with the awesome power of the Sonic Boom. Annihilate your competition. Claim the right to test your skills against the bone-crushing power of the Grand Masters. Can you survive? Can anyone? This is, of course, Street Fighter II from Capcom, released in 1992, also known as Street Fighter II: The World Warriors. It's part of that Street Fighter franchise thing, and I like that we just looked at another fighting game right before this, and this one is so much better. Of course, you know all about this. It's a fighting game from Capcom, originally released to the arcades in 1991, was a sequel to Street Fighter from 1987, and adds some more playable characters, each with their own fighting style and features like special moves, a 6-button configuration, a combo system, competitive 2-player multiplayer, and was the 14th Capcom game to use the CP System arcade system board. Wow! It was ported to the Super NES in '92, for which it became a long-standing system seller and led to a series of updated versions. By 1994, it had been played by at least 25 million people in the US at home in arcades. The console port sold more than 14 million copies, including 6.3 million on the Super Nintendo, making it Capcom's best-selling game for the next 2 decades, and their best-selling game on a single platform. Adjusted for inflation, all versions of Street Fighter II are estimated to have exceeded $10 billion in gross revenue, making it one of the highest grossing video games. It's credited with popularizing the fighting game genre and sparking a renaissance for the arcade industry. It appears on several lists of the greatest video games of all time. Ports, there's a bunch. The Super Nintendo got them. The Amiga, the Atari ST, the Commodore 64, the Amstrad CPC, the ZX Spectrum, the PC for DOS, the CPS Changer, the Game Boy. This is just Street Fighter II. The Master System, the Saturn, the PlayStation, mobile versions, PlayStation 2, Xbox, PSP, PS4, Xbox One, the Switch, and Windows. Yeah. Let's see. The first game released on a 16 megabit cartridge for the Super Nintendo. Many aspects were changed or simplified to fit the smaller memory. It also featured a secret code which would allow both players to control the same character in a match, which was not possible in the arcade version. The second player uses the alternate color palette included in the Champion Edition. 4 Grandmasters are still non-playable but use their Champion Edition color palette if that code is entered. A bunch of changes. We don't need to worry about that. Reception. Since there's so many, we're not going to hit everything real tight. We'll just go down the list here a bit. All Game gave it 4.5 out of 5. Edge 9 out of 10. EGM 38 out of 40. Famitsu 35 out of 40. GamePro a 5 out of 5. Nintendo Power 4 out of 5. Bad Influence gave it a 96 out of 100. Electronic Games 94. Mean Machines 98. Megazone 95. Superplay 94. Aggregate scores from Game Rankings is 90 and Defunct Games is 93. This is my favorite fighting game. I've played, I think, Street Fighter 3. I don't even like the Turbo Edition. I don't like the other edition. This is the one I had as a kid. This is the one I grew up with. This is the one I absolutely love. And I will measure any fighting game to this one, if that tells you anything about how much I feel about it.